I just turned 23 yesterday, and I'm still living here at my parents' house. So I just wanted to take this opportunity to just talk about, the last few years of my life and, almost the spiritual journey that I've been on recently and how that's affected my life externally. So I was born and raised here in Southern California in the South Bay, in a small suburb called Palos Verdes. Growing up, I was always a shy kid, pretty much. Really found it hard to, social situations, things like that. Always scared of being judged by other people. Really found it hard to talk to girls in high school and also carrying it on into college. When I graduated from high school, I was always a good student. Straight A student, A's, B's student. Followed the rules. I was an athletic person, played sports. I was in track and field, basketball, the whole nine. I ended up graduating from high school and going to San Diego State, just a couple hours south of where I was born and raised. I went to school, I majored in accounting, and very quickly I realized that college was not for me, because I realized that I'm not someone, I'm not an employee-oriented person. I'm not someone who wants to work for someone else. I don't want to be told what to do. I have my own way of looking at things, and I want to be my own boss. So I realized that in college. I realized that college is for breeding employees. So I kind of really struggled with that. Let me straighten that. So I really faced this sort of internal dilemma while I was in college and just looking at people around me and pretty much just seeing, there's a lot of people in college and that I was surrounded by that didn't want to, they were the same as me. They didn't want to be at school, but their parents expected them to be there. Their family, friends expected them to be there. Society expected them to be there. And I thought that was bullshit. I thought that was bullshit that we were all in college doing something that we didn't want to be doing just because that was the norm and that was what it was expected of us. I actually got pretty angry at times that I was paying tuition and going to school and studying in a major that I wasn't even passionate about, which was accounting. And I was kind of angry about it, at points. Nonetheless, I was a good student, and I didn't drop out of college. I stayed through college through my 4 years. I was the vice president. I held an executive position in the accounting society. I was on the dean's list. I was in student organizations. I excelled at school. I was a top student. So I graduated with honors in my class, and I graduated from school. And something funny happened when I graduated from college. I realized that there was no longer a cookie cutter mold or this conveyor belt just carrying me along anymore. When you're growing up, kindergarten, then you go to elementary, middle, high school, college. I graduated from college in 2018, May of 2018. I was 21 years old by the time I graduated, and I decided I was going to take a 6 months to a year break off of school. And I moved back to my parents' house, back here where I'm currently living. And I started becoming very introspective on what I wanted to spend the rest of my life doing. Now, naturally, I am into music. I'm into creating things. I'm into writing. I'm into writing books. I'm into, just my own way of viewing things, my own way of life. And immediately, the one thing that I've realized is that I'm not alone. People are unhappy. People are settling for lives that they're unhappy with. People are working jobs that they don't want to be working at, and they're not looking for alternatives. They've given up. I see people around me, family, friends, who are unhealthy, who don't take care of their body. They don't take care of, they're in relationships that they don't want to be in. They're working at jobs that they're not passionate about. And that's just become the norm. And for me, that's just kind of sad. It's kind of sad for me to see that. I've decided to take matters into my own hands, and I can feel this like overwhelming desire for myself to become a YouTuber and to share my experiences, because I know that my personal experiences, what I experience and the struggles I face and as an artist and the things that I do, I'm not alone, because I meet people like me every day, and I know I'm not alone in the things that I face and the problems that I may have or whatever I'm going through. So I know that, so I came up with the idea to start a YouTube channel about a year ago, and I came out with my first set of videos. I labeled them under Now Is the Time. You can go check them out. They're still posted on my YouTube video. But I think the major mistake that I made in that video was that I tried to present myself as some sort of like guru or some sort of like guy who's like perfect and like knows what's going on in life. And it's like, the reality is, when I recorded that video, I was a 22-year-old who was conflicted with what I was doing in life, and I was still living at my parents' house, and I was financially dependent on them. I still pretty much am. And I tried to like make myself look like some like super righteous, like prophetic figure, which is just so deceiving. It's not even anywhere close to the truth. So, I'm kind of making this video just as kind of the first video where I just want to keep it real. I really want to keep this channel real. And I just like, I'm not trying to like make myself look like I'm someone who I'm not anymore. I think that's what I've been doing for most of my life. I've always tried to present myself as someone that I'm not to other people. Just to gain their acceptance, and so that I wouldn't be ridiculed or criticized. And honestly, now, after this past year especially, man, with all this stuff that I've been through. So let me give you some background on this past year of my life. Like I said, I graduated from college it was about January, early January. I took a job at an accounting position with, it was a cannabis product development firm based out here in El Segundo. One of my mom's friends who was starting it up, his own company, his own little project. It's big. I think it's actually going to be a big company, honestly. But I was doing the accounting there, and to say the least, I didn't like it. I didn't like what I was doing. I loved the people I was working with. I loved my boss. That's the thing. I loved the people I was working with, and I liked, the company was fun and it was cool. But as far as the work went, I wasn't passionate about it. And at the same time, I felt this creative energy within me every day I went to the office, just diminishing and dying inside of me. And that's when I realized, I can't work a job like this. So I quit that job just a month ago. So I've been unemployed since then. I'm currently getting my personal training certification. I'm going to start training people. And that's where I'm at right now. I'm kind of in this like weird, almost purgatory state. But I think one thing that I've really learned is to start releasing resistance to all the things that I don't want to happen in my life. I don't want to be living at my parents' house until I'm 30, and I don't want to be you know, I don't want to be alone. I don't want to be lonely. And it's like all these things that like we all don't want, right? Like we don't want to be criticized by other people. We don't want to be alone for the rest of our lives. We don't want to live with our parents for the rest of our lives. We don't want to be broke for the rest of our lives, you know. And I've realized that I've had so much resistance to all those things and I've been placing so much attention on the things that I don't want in my life, and that's exactly what I've been getting in return. So I think recently, you know, this past month and this past couple weeks, and, you know, just turning 23, my birthday was yesterday, I just like took a deep breath in and took a deep breath out, and I was just like, fuck it, you know, who cares? Who cares if I get criticized, you know? Who cares if I'm broke right now? That's what it is, you know, I have to accept that. Who cares if I'm alone, you know? Maybe there's not a girl out there who loves me. Who cares, like, you know? And finally, once I kind of came into acceptance of all that stuff, like, I just felt like a huge weight was lifted off my shoulders. I'm just like, I can breathe again, like, you know, I'm back. So I feel like a sense of liberation in a way, you know. I don't have so much like self-induced pressure on me anymore, because at this point, you know, people can talk all they want, but that's their problem. It's not mine. I always wanted to internalize, you know, something that someone said to me. You know, if someone criticized me, or if someone said, you know, what I'm doing is wrong, before I would like take that to heart immediately, and I try to change myself so I could conform to what other people wanted me to be in their mind. And I think we're all kind of guilty of that. I mean, at least I am. I was. I still am. I'm not completely free. I don't want to make myself seem like I am. I have all these, you know, observations, and I have all these things that I see that kind of like not, I don't know, I don't want to say it's not right, but there's just things that I see are leading to our own self-destruction. And man, I just want to have an open dialogue about that. I need to express that. I need an outlet to express that. Okay, maybe this YouTube channel is more for me than it is for anyone else, but I do think that people can benefit from it. I know I'm not alone, so I think people can benefit from it, and you know, we can thrive together. All right, so thanks for listening to this rant and me just, you know, kind of laying it all down on the camera. I mean, I'm just sharing me, you know. I'm gonna keep it more real now. I'm not gonna try to present myself as some guru or something like that, like I was previously. And I'm not gonna take down my old videos either, because there is a lot of gold in there. So I'll keep all that. I'll keep that all up. But I'll be posting more content regularly from now on, and nothing too fancy, nothing too crazy, but just something to keep me disciplined and grounded, and just sharing where I'm at in life with all of you who are listening. So thanks again for sitting through all this, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out. Bye.